It's another beautiful day in St. Petersburg, Florida. And the Al Lang Stadium, home of the Tampa Bay Rowdies, is hosting the Rowdies Suncoast Invitational. It's the Montreal Impact and DC United. Mike Pepper alongside Lee Godfrey, and when we talk about the Rowdies Suncoast Invitational, Lee, it's it's a matter of 5 days. This being game day 3, match day 3, and it's a good one tonight. DC United against Montreal Impact. Of course, DC may be going with some not-so-regulars because they have a big game on Tuesday in the Champions League.
Yeah, they play in that quarterfinal Champions League game, and that's something that Ben Olsen did tell us, that a lot of those starters would be resting. And on the flip side, for the Montreal Impact, we'll see a couple of players that we didn't see in their first matchup. I don't know if we'll see Didier Drogba, but certainly Dominic Oduro, who was suffering from the flu when he first came in, is going to get some minutes up top tonight.
Yeah, it'll be a good one here on tap at 4 o'clock. Of course, game 2 a little bit later. We'll be talking about that as well. Of course, that features the Tampa Bay Rowdies and the Philadelphia Union. Right now, our sideline reporter on the down on the field, Heather Donnelly. Heather?
Hi, Mike. One thing most of the coaches have mentioned during this Rowdies Suncoast Invitational is that they're trying to gauge their team's fitness levels. Well, it's a hot one out here today, 75 degrees and sunny, so this will be a great chance for Mauro Biello and Ben Olsen to gauge their team's fitness levels in some really hot conditions. Guys?
Thank you, Heather. Yeah, and as we look at Philadelphia and Montreal, DC United. Why did it already? It started right there, but DC United out on there. Let's get a good look at the officials here tonight, wearing the green uniforms. And it's Kevin Terry Jr. as your referee, Jose De Silva is your assistant, and Matthew Miscannon, your other assistant. Miguel Martez is your 4th official. And again, DC United here in the last preparation, they played the Rowdies on Saturday night and won 1-0. They tied Philadelphia. That was what I was thinking. 1-1 on Wednesday. Now, again, a chance for maybe some of the guys not to be expected to do too much of an impact on Tuesday. Those guys given the rest.
Yeah, it was interesting games for both sides on Wednesday midweek. Of course, DC United drawing Philadelphia by a score of 1-1, and the Montreal Impact going down to New York City FC by a score of 1-0. That was an interesting one because right before the end of the game in stoppage time, it did appear that the Montreal Impact had equalized very close, whether or not the flag should have gone up in that match, but certainly the most exciting of the two games. So it'll be interesting to see, Mike, how these two teams come out and approach the beginning, because the New York FC Montreal game was much different. It was like a middle of a regular season game with the way the teams attacked, as opposed to a more possession-based and a chippier game, in fact, in that earlier game on Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah, it absolutely was. Montreal here is taking possession here in the first minute. Looks like wearing the captain's armband in the back. Looks like to be maybe Simon who will be sporting that duty to start here. Nice through ball over, and it's going to roll back to Wara, the goalkeeper.
We'll have a look for number 26 out there in the midfield for DC United in Rob Vincent. He was acquired this past week by DC United, and he comes over from the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, and he was the regular season, a modern USL goal-scoring leader with Pittsburgh with 24 goals. So gives them some goal-scoring ability out of the midfield by that signing, and so hopefully he'll be able to step up coming up to Major League Soccer from Pittsburgh.
Well, that one will go off the knee of Marcus Halsty. Be a corner kick here for Montreal.
Hey, everybody else, not jump. Grab him in. Grab it right here. Colin, back with it. Colin, right here. Good, right there.
In swinger. Flipped on, it'll go back post. It's going to go over everyone. It's like Donadell come up and take a kick and from the defender position, making his way all the way up. It's Toya with the flip on.
Not bad service there by Donadell. Of course, we saw on Wednesday him rattle one off the post from outside the box on a beautiful free kick, which was denied only by the woodwork. Montreal creating quite a few opportunities. Salazar with a good game on that right-hand side as well. Created plenty, had two massive chances that were both swatted away by the keeper on the night. So again, it's all positives building towards MLS first kick for all of these teams down in St. Petersburg, and not necessarily the end result in goals. As we see Ben Olsen, of course, having a great opportunity tonight because of that Champions League game. To see other players he might not otherwise necessarily see, Mike, if it was the same position as, say, the Montreal Impact are in right now, where Mauro Biello is really just building towards that first match, getting his veterans more fitness.
And that match is in 2 weeks, and little trouble on the back line. Cabrera has it bounce up, but he'll recover. The Impact will play it up. It will go off United. It will be a throw-in for Montreal.
Come behind. Come behind more, Jaylee. There's nobody there.
It's a very different game, these afternoon games, Mike, but there certainly are some positives out of them. They're not full when, like tonight will be with Ralph's Mob here. You'll get a lot more crowd noises, but if you're a coach and we're not trying to distract them too much, watching on the YouTube channel too much, you really can hear the players on the pitch, the coaches, and what they're trying to dictate to the players. It's really unique to have the microphones down there and not have necessarily as large of a crowd to be able to hear exactly what some of these players are doing and what the coaches are trying to dictate to their team members.
Toya back into Simon.
It looks like Simon is wearing the captain's armband for Montreal, which is regularly worn by number 8 in the middle of the park, Canadian Patrice Bernier, that he is resting today.
Nice little touch off inside.
There's Dominic Oduro with the orange boots getting some touches in. Of course, like we said, he was under the weather coming into St. Petersburg, didn't get any minutes.
Nice ball to him, and he's going to flip it up. And there's the first goal, Montreal, and there it was. You just called him out, and Oduro has given Montreal Impact a 1-0 lead over DC United.
Well, he got the first touch on the right-hand side, played it back, and got the ball back, and the keeper making a little bit of a mistake, and Wara coming out. He looked a little bit indecisive on what he wanted to do, and by the time he made the decision to come out and try to get that ball, Dominic Oduro was right there to get a boot on it, flick it over top of him, and find the back of the net. 1-0 Impact.
Mention it again, because it is worth saying, but it was a nice play and a nice touch by Oduro. But DC United rather limited today. They have the players that have played the last 2 games are getting ready for that CONCACAF Champions League game in Mexico on Tuesday. Querétaro. There's another ball played back in as Salazar gets on it. Salazar was instrumental in that goal there, helping out as Oduro on the nice 1-2 touch back and forth.
And Dominic Oduro just keeps going and going and going. He's a longtime MLS veteran. He's been at FC Dallas, Houston Dynamo, Toronto FC, and then moved on from there to the Montreal Impact. If you play FIFA, the soccer on your Xbox or PlayStation, Dominic Oduro is actually rated as one of the fastest players on the game, if you can believe that. And that's including all the European English-based teams. Maybe that's why his Twitter handle is Freaky Fast, because that he certainly is.
Definitely getting the first one to it on the goal. So we mentioned a doubleheader today. Tampa Bay Rowdies will take on the Philadelphia Union at 7 o'clock. Wednesday also doubleheader. Montreal will be in action again at 4 o'clock, and they'll play Toronto FC at the DiMaggio Complex. So that one will be on the Rowdies Soccer YouTube channel. Maybe a couple of different people over there. And the Philadelphia Union will host the New York Red Bulls. So if you're in the Tampa Bay area, as that rolls over the inline goal kick, you good chance to get out there and see it. And then you don't want to miss next week either, on the 27th, 1 week from tonight, when Toronto FC will play Philadelphia in that 4 o'clock game. And then you'll see this Montreal team against the Tampa Bay Rowdies at 7.
Yeah, big chance for any American soccer fans to come out. And you're thinking, well, why would I want to go see a Canadian team in Toronto? But if you do want to come out for that one, you'll be seeing the captain of the U.S. national team, of course, and Michael Bradley, Jose Altidore on that side, and then the Italian international Giovinco, the MVP last year of Major League Soccer, and rightly so. He was just a pleasure and a joy to watch in every one of his games, and lofted him back into the national team fold for Italy.
Yeah, he was outstanding last year. There's a Yongo. It's on the back four with Cabrera, Simon, and Toya. And this one will go back towards Toya. A little bit of space, he'll bring it down.
Well, if one thing Montreal may want to improve on after their last game, Salazar brings this one up,
Get it into Oduro.
is some of the defensive mistakes, Mike. They certainly look good going forward, created a lot of opportunities, but you know, Pirlo and Villa certainly hooked up a couple times and maybe should have had some more goals on some set pieces. They might have tightened up there and look at that as an area of improvement. Going forward, they did look good. They did create opportunity.
That's going to go over the touchline, throw in for DC United.
And once again, Piatti and Didier Drogba not going to be playing tonight, not on the bench, two of their mainstay players. Again, Drogba just getting in and not getting in as many training sessions as the rest of the players have here in Montreal.
Offsides is the call here. Played 9 minutes, 20 seconds here at Al Lang Stadium, home of the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Mike Pepper along with Lee Godfrey, Heather Donnelly on the sidelines here as we bring you the Rowdies Suncoast Invitational here in 2016. A great event of soccer. And an afternoon, it's warm right now as we see DC United wearing the black uniforms in the heat. Montreal wearing the all white. Evan Bush, the goalkeeper, getting the start tonight. Eric Kronberg played the last game against NYCFC. Toya from his right back position will get it back to Harry Shipp. Shipp, one of the newest members of the Montreal Impact, having to be a trade earlier in the week. Offsides is the call. Halsty lays it out to academy player. Tries to go up the line. Touched out of bounds there by Yongo. Throw in. Aguilar. Now Boucher will lose it. And Simon gets it for the Impact. Over the touchline and another throw for DC United. Looking to connect on the through ball. Instead, it will roll over the goal line for the goal kick. Good look there at Mauro Biello, Montreal head coach.
Been a mainstay in Montreal soccer for pretty much all of his career, going back to the old A-League games as a player, well over 200 appearances between 2000 and 2009 in the USL and then A-League, and part of those championship teams. Playing just outside of downtown Montreal at the time at Claude Robière. Had the pleasure of covering one of those championships. Some good players on that team, including Morrow, Greg Sutton, former national team keeper and Toronto FC keeper, now the coach of Concordia University, and still does some television work up in Canada on TSN. Simon, of course, Belgian descent, does have some caps at the national team level, and what a team Belgium is right now. The top teams in the world. Small nation, incredible for them, and deservedly so, getting into the last World Cup.
And eliminating the United States in the round of 16.
Yeah, not for the efforts of Tim Howard in that match. That could have been a lot worse. Howard just stood on his head that entire game, and the States actually had an opportunity to win that one.
Flipped on, headed away. Robinson was there for United.
Memory serves me correct, it was Chris Wondolowski came off the bench and had an absolute sitter from about 8 yards out. He put over the bar, and that would have been it. That would have been a huge upset to put the United States through to the last 8.
92nd minute, I believe, and then they lost in extra time. Through ball. Played back to Wara, the keeper, as Toya had made the run from his right back position. Evan Bush sent it back up, and maybe Toya hadn't got back, so he couldn't compete for the ball. United looks for the forward. Boucher over his head. Oh, bad pass by Salazar. It's a gift here for United, but recovery for Montreal. Salazar, don't know what he was doing. Saw Sabarillo, who was kind of cherry picking back there and came off the defense, but DC United still with the ball.
Yeah, and then not doing much with it was Sabarillo. When he did get into the 18-yard box, just kind of stopped, and Cabrera was just able to stand there and block the shot from a yard in front of him.
See Salazar with his hand up, telling his teammates, yeah, that was me. That was, don't know what he saw there. Obviously, he didn't see Sabarillo.
The sun right now could be a bit of a problem for Montreal attacking right now. Where it's at in the sky, we still don't see, we're just starting to see in the one corner the shadow of the Hilton Hotel. So the sun's still in that position, but still Salazar in the end needs to do better than that.
And Oduro's on side, and he's got a side netting this time. Wide. Didn't have much of an angle when it got it past Wara, but he couldn't get it between the posts, and it's a goal kick for DC United.
Oh, another close opportunity there from Dominic Oduro as we take a look. Nice little pass forward there, and he comes in and he does beat Wara. He gets it through the wickets, it looks like, but just a side netting, not enough of an angle to get it past that near post and get his second goal of the game.
Through ball by Venegas. And Salazar with it. Get it into Ship, and they'll switch the field. Toya on the long run. Get to it. He's looking for help in the form of Alexander. Ship back to Oduro. That one shot, and it's going to roll through across, and it will creep across the line as Salazar is there and keeps Halsty from clearing it out, and it's 2-0 Montreal.
Some great passing there by the Montreal Impact. That started from a very long cross from the other side of the field, and Montreal just kept some great possession, passed it around the top of the box, and let's have a look at it here. This is where this all started, from a great long ball that Toya catches up to. He beats the last man back. And what a good little bit of passing here. A great combos, get it back to the middle of the box area, not good closing down. And there you saw Ship finding Dominic Oduro. It gets past Wara and just enough in there. Salazar creeps in their defenders there, but he's able to get that one over the line. 2-0 Montreal Impact with some great passing around the area there of the 18-yard box and a finish.
Tackle, and Halsty will run it down. This is another turnover here. Oduro will get it to Salazar. Salazar with space from 18 into the box. He can't unleash the shot. Good recovery there by DC United, but maybe a little gift from Salazar not ripping it early.
Yeah, he looked like he wanted to hit it the first time, didn't he, with his right foot, and almost hesitated to try to bring it down and maybe go around that defender and crack it with the left. In the end, he doesn't end up getting shot off.
Well, Aguilar on the other side, his cross behind it a little bit, and now Montreal will just send it up to midfield, where Academy will just let it go over him, and it will go over the touchline. Although they said it may have deflected off of DC United. Will be a Montreal throw. 20 minutes have passed by here at Al Lang Stadium, home of the Tampa Bay Rowdies. The Rowdies in action tonight at 7 against the Philadelphia Union. Robinson, Boucher, Michoud can't give it back to Boucher. It will be a throw for United. Donadell, the Italian national, gets up to Ship, and Ship can't connect with Simon. Good pressure by United will force them to play it out of bounds. There's another look here at the goal.
Wara just getting a hand on it. Salazar sees it sitting there, and he's able to get in there before the defender for DC United was allowed to clear that away, kind of blocking it, and a relatively easy play there for Salazar. But great build-up play by the Montreal Impact leading up to that goal.
Overlapping run.
Academy player there, Mike, with a great play. I know it's preseason, and they're trying to maybe try a few little players out, though, but you know, if I'm his parents, I don't know if I'd like to be called academy player. You'd like a little recognition out there.
Even first name is DC. Wonder if his DC stands for District of Columbia too. Is Harry Shipp getting a little treatment? Maybe the tape a little tight. Looks like they're going to try and just take the tape off. They are. So Montreal will be playing with 10 while Shipp gets the shoe back on. Interesting. A lot of times they do tape those ankles for a reason, but he's going to play with no tape here for the last half of the first half, or so it appears. Overlapping run is going to be Mishu. And a big rip on net, and Evan Bush has to touch it wide as Vincent had come up, and it was a nice layoff, and Vincent able to get one low and hard. May have been a low corner, but Bush parries it wide for the corner kick. Let's see, he could have done a little bit more with it, but from about 30 yards out, it was a hard shot. And
a lot of pace on it.
Near post headed up, not away. Second ball, though, now cleared away.
That was the first real save that Bush had to make in this, and although you would have liked him to hold on to it, not have the corner, he directed it out perfectly not to allow a rebound in play.
Nice touch for Aguilar. Good tackle, though, by Simon. Over the top, Oduro. It's not going to make it. There's Halstead, cuts it off.
A little bit better as we move along here, just in even these last few touches. DC United keeping possession, moving the ball around. Montreal on the flip side, though, doing a pretty good job keeping their shape and forcing DC United back.
Robinson looks long. Oyongo drills one in, maybe not what it was intended for, but still will result in a corner kick. As Venegas, who came away with a loose ball, has it deflect off one of the United players. One of United's players, and it goes over the end line for the corner kick as Dunedale will come up to take it.
Again, Dominic Oduro in the middle of the box, Robinson covering him.
Near post over the head of Toya this time. Last time he flipped it on and went over everyone, but the loose ball will come. Oyongo towards the back post. Salazar being grabbed. We're going to have a penalty. Or was he offsides? I guess they'll call him offsides, but Salazar jersey was being ripped off as he got the header on net before Wara got the save. Get a look at that offsides here, Lee. And he's not.
It's very close. You do see, I'm not sure if that is Robinson at the top of the screen.
Yeah. He didn't get back in time, so that was a missed call, but so it will remain Montreal 2-0, but it didn't go in anyway. Wara did make the save, but what maybe should have been a penalty kick.
Yeah, you're right there. You know, the fact that the ball didn't go in, the whistle should have gone for the point to the spot instead. But it did look like at the top of the screen, Robinson was moving his way back up the pitch to keep Salazar in an onside position.
And missed by the official there. Yes, Montreal not the only one that's been missed here in the Suncoast Invitational. Rowdy Suncoast Invitational as Oduro gets the ball running down into the area, but he'll pull it back out. Alexander, flip on now, will go to Oyongo. Here's Ship, now left-footed cross. Salazar flips it up, and it has to be tipped over the bar for a corner kick. And while they set up for this corner kick, let's check in with Heather Donnelly on the sideline. Well, we'll look at a replay, and then we'll get with Heather in a moment here as Donadell will come across. Here's Salazar, flips it up, and Wara has to run back and just play it over.
Marcus, C5.
Here's Donadell, back post. Salazar's there. He's waiting on it, powers it back. It's going to be off the defender on the far post, actually the near post, but it came back to the far post, cleared out towards midfield. Aguilar, who is holding his position, was in a good spot.
He certainly was, because absolutely no one picked up Salazar. That was just an open header, and that's why you put those players on each post just in case, because that probably, it would have been close if it bounced in or went wide or off the post and in, but certainly have to be better marked for DC United.
Ship with the left-footed shot into the midsection of Wara. And with that, let's check it with Heather Donnelly down on the sideline. Heather?
You got me now, Mike?
Do.
All right. It's pretty bright down here. You mentioned earlier how there's that shadow in the corner of the field being cast by a building here in downtown. As the sun sets, that shadow is going to become bigger and bigger, but the sun is going to become even more of a factor for these teams as they're looking towards the far side of the field where the sun is setting. So it'll be interesting to see how that sun becomes a factor later on as the game progresses. Guys?
Thank you, Heather. In the second half, when DC United will be attacking in that direction, but the forwards of Montreal having to see it look backwards too.
And I actually think that could have played a little trouble with the eyes of the lines judge on that offside goal, because, you know, in and out of the sun, and players getting lost in the shadows, and that's exactly where he was making his way back up the pitch, and it tough to see in the light.
Simon's pass will go over the touchline, and perhaps those mics worked a little bit too well there.
Well, Harry Ship, I'm looking forward to him settling in with the Montreal lineup and his new team and new surroundings. He had a good strike on goal there earlier, playing 66 games with the Chicago Fire over 2 years and 10 goals.
Oduro on the loose ball. This could be a great Oduro with the second goal, and what an assist by Alexander off his back. He had no clue, and Oduro was able to get it in. I don't know if we'll give it an assist, but certainly the last player to play it to Oduro didn't know he did.
Wow, and Dominic Oduro just made it look easy, didn't he? There you see Robinson, the deflection off of Alexander, and Dominic Oduro takes on 2 defenders, and then just a little opposite chip there past Wara to his right-hand side, and all too easy for Dominic Oduro, and his second of the game.
We're going to go assist of the year right now. We have it. And Oduro, though, did a good job of finishing in order to get it in. I don't know if that from midfield, but certainly, hey, that's where the ball came from. So.
Yeah, unlucky for Robinson there just to have his shot deflect perfectly. You probably couldn't do that if you tried it 100 more times, but falls right back to Dominic Oduro, and he's a big guy, strong on the ball, and he does have the speed, and he was able to just cut that in, and he's done that a few times before in his career.
Well, now Montreal leads 3-0 as we hit the 32nd minute against a depleted DC United team. But Montreal has certainly done the job they need to do today, going out and finishing and looking dangerous in a couple opportunities so far, too.
It's got to be a little tough, maybe even frustrating for Ben Olsen not to get his starters more match time like this, not only before the Champions League game, but for MLS as well. He talked about some of the guys going into that game, maybe only having 75 minutes under their belt going into a very important matchup for them.
Tuesday, they'll travel to Mexico and face against Querétaro. And then the following, I believe it's Tuesday, Querétaro will make the return trip up to DC in the quarterfinals, I believe, of the CONCACAF Champions League. Now Montreal will look, and just too far for Oduro. And DC United will make a sub. Coming off will be Vincent. Let's see, coming on number 13. Let's look for our roster.
Julian Boucher.
But I had the wrong number coming off. Boucher came off.
Nope, Vincent. I think you said off. Was Boucher off?
Boucher was on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, you're correct. So he came off.
Number 13 comes on.
Lamar Nagle.
Nagel on for Vincent. Whistle will be a free kick forward, DC United. Offsides. Nagel gets involved, and it's with the linesman raising the flag. Fans getting ready. Full day here at Al Lang Stadium. Of course, it's home of the Tampa Bay Rowdies, and the Rowdies will be on the field at 7 o'clock against the Philadelphia Union.
Looking forward to that one. The Rowdies a little hard done by losing that first match on a goal that should have really never counted. Not that it matters as much here, but of course the fans want to see their home side win against these MLS teams.
Couple opportunities and some good positional work by the young DC United goalkeeper, Kirsten, who kept the Rowdies scoreless in the second half. Here's a turn. Oh, it should have been a turn. Instead, it will be, as it will roll over the touchline. It'll be a throw in. Then I guess
Thought he should have had that one.
Yeah, it looks like maybe he could have gone forward, but kind of in between him and Mr. Academy. Mike Pepper and Lee Godfrey. See our Twitter handles. Ron Godfrey at Sports Tampa. Those two. You can reach us. Montreal leads DC United 3-0 here as we hit minute 35.
All compliments, right? Everything's wanted on our Twitter addresses. The positive, the negative, and yeah, let us know.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know.
Hey, it's like a player on a team. You can't just accept all the good things all the time. You have to accept some of the bad things and move on.
Just too far for Oduro, cutting inside. Maybe looking for a first half hat trick. He's got 2 of Montreal's 3. Salazar has the 3rd one. And that was after Warren made a save on Oduro, which would have been the 3rd one, but Salazar hustling, got the goal. Here's an opportunity for DC United, and it's a goal for Sabarillo as that ball just found its way across the penalty area after a couple of Montreal players missed it, and it's 3-1.
Well, let's have a look at this here. It starts out on the left-hand side. The cross, and was that Simon and Cabrera that both missed that one, and Sabarillo on that back post right there. That's his. Simon misses that, and easy tap in for Alvaro Sabarillo to get DC United within 2.
Nagel will say it was the Korean spin he put on the ball that made Cabrera and Simon miss it, but a couple of misplays it appeared. Here's Harry Shipp. Toya. Wara will come down. The loose ball.
Hey, how about?
Guess we'll have to look at it at the end of the day. Which was the easier goal? Was it Salazar's or was it Sabario's?
Two little tap-ins there. Interesting, just looking at that goal mouth area that War is in, getting worn down.
That will deflect off of Halsti as Alexander tries to send it across. It will be a corner kick.
Well, a good out there by Halsti because Dominic Oduro was again unmarked in the box. If that ball did get to him, it probably would have been an easy header for his first half hat trick here at Allianz Stadium. Donadell back again to take this corner kick.
Outswinger again. Looking flipped on, it's free. Now it's kneed out, and Harry Shipp will run it down for Montreal. Looking towards the back post, but no one's there yet. Do they hold their runs? No, it doesn't matter. It's deflected. As Close gets in there.
Nice ball there by Harry Shipp. Interesting to see how many minutes Mauro Bello gives to some of his starters tonight. It must be a difficult game, Mike, to play in because of the lineup that DC United has been forced to play because of that Champions League game. And to be able to continue on the impact side of it, to get that intensity level out of your players, to really play hard like it was a regular MLS game, and when it is one-sided to this point like that, to keep them up, keep them playing, keep them going hard.
Yeah, it is a difficult challenge, and that's going to be, but as you start to see maybe some of these players that will continue on knowing that, you know, hey, you fight for not just a playing time, but maybe a roster spot for some of these guys in the second half. That intensity certainly has to stay with it.
And the same goes right now for those guys out there right now for DC United that, no, not necessarily starting 11, but certainly impress your coaches enough to find a spot on the bench regularly and take that opportunity when it comes.
Work by Montreal to keep possession. Nice ball over the top. Oyongo into Oduro. It turns into Robinson, who's in the way, and now a tackle by Halsti will earn Montreal yet another corner kick here in the first half.
Well, nice there by Oyongo, and he found Dominic Oduro in the middle of the box on the cutback, and Dominic Oduro just turning and trying to let it go, had it blocked immediately. A little upset with himself that he wasn't able to get that through and put it on goal.
Donadell, it's like Shipp had gone out with him, but he'll go ahead and send it into the box. Halsti, first one there. Now, though, a nice turn for Shipp. Left foot blocked over the touchline, throw in. Donadell does it quickly. Oyongo now back to Donadell. The pressure will force Montreal to go back to their goalkeeper, Evan Bush.
Evan Bush, 31 games started last season, 9 clean sheets, 39 goals against. And of course, all 3 playoff games for the Impact. The one against Toronto, a victory for them to move on, and then the losing in the 2-leg series against the Columbus Crew.
Save right. Come on, tighter.
Saying hello to everyone out there in Canada, particularly in the province of Quebec, Montreal, watching today, as well as our nation's capital here in the United States, in D.C., Washington, D.C. Looking at a beautiful afternoon here in St. Petersburg, Al Lang Stadium, which is home of the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Both these teams in the Suncoast Invitational will have played the Rowdies. DC United getting the victory last week, 1-0. And Montreal and the Rowdies will be next Saturday night.
And it's been a pleasure as well. A lot of these teams are playing elsewhere, but we are literally hosting the Montreal Impact, taking in all of their training sessions here over this entire tournament at Al Lang Stadium. It's been a lot of fun for me, is knowing a lot of these players through either Toronto FC or the Canadian national team. The technical director of the Montreal Impact, Adam Braz, played internationally for Canada, was a member of Toronto FC in that first year of MLS soccer in Toronto.
Final minute of the first half. 3-1, Montreal leads DC United. And again, it's a DC United team that seeing some players here that are getting an opportunity to play as the team prepares for its Tuesday match in Mexico. A lot of the starters sent there already. Now left-footed rip and will go off Montreal. Still kept in, Aguilar. Run down. There will be 1 minute of stoppage time here in the first half. As Robinson gets possession, it's outside his own penalty area.
Well, Saborio up top for DC United. They really still maybe in a way getting used to the people, the surroundings, the players coming over mid-season from Salt Lake City last year, playing 14 games with Real Salt Lake. With 12 games for United in the campaign, 4 goals for DC United, 3 with Real Salt Lake, so 7 on the season last year for Saborio.
Donadell on the tackle, but Simon has a loose ball, and as that one goes out, continue. One more ball played in the area, and that will go off of Simon. There will be a corner kick, and DC United wants to hurry to take this here as they get the ball. One last ball of the first half, apparently. As that's headed away, so we'll blow the whistle to signal halftime. Well, it's one that we saw plenty of goals. Montreal able to get a 3 spot early on. DC United has answered back with 1 to cut that deficit down 3-1. Right now, Heather Donnelly down on the sideline. Heather?
Coach, I know you're using this game as an opportunity to evaluate some of your younger guys and trialists. What is your evaluation of them?
So far, fairly, I think there's a few real bright spots. But again, this is a great game for us to learn lessons and continue to grow. Some of these young guys, again, through preseason, they don't learn the lessons that you can learn when you're going against very good MLS players. And they're everywhere out here. So this is, again, a great day to learn.
How great was it for Alvaro Saborio to get a goal in this last preseason game?
Yeah, it helps. He's coming back into form here the last few days. It's good to get him on the score sheet. He does a lot of good running off the ball, and sometimes it's a matter of who's providing it. And Lamar comes on and gives him a good ball, and we get a goal. So overall, happy with not happy with giving up 3 goals. I think our marking in the box can be better, and dealing with Oduro, some of the pace, but again, a good experience.
Thanks, Coach. Mike?
Thank you, Heather. Yep, and you can see right there, Ben Olsen has got some good things to be pleased with, but the score would probably not be that, as he mentioned, as Montreal leads DC United 3-1. We are at the half, 45 minutes to play here in this game of the Rowdy Suncoast Invitational. Of course, the Rowdies and Philadelphia will be coming up at 7 o'clock as you watch Dominic Oduro get that one. We'll be back from Al Lang Stadium, home of the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
It's a 1-iron. And the right side of the green should go left when it hits.
I can't even see that one.
Oh, just a couple more.
Well, how's he getting on?
He's 4 over.
Again, water coming off the bill of his head.
It's wet, isn't it?
You warm enough? I'm warm enough, yeah. Yes.
So when do you think you'll turn professional?
I know I have to keep working hard to keep getting better and better.
On the tee, Tiger Woods. From Northern Ireland, Roy McIlroy.
Good shot there, man.
Can you feel it? That vibe. It's here on America's best beaches. Feel it in unique mashups of amazing, crazy, and wow. So within every moment, you live amplified. St. Pete Clearwater, solar powered and radiating 1 million megawatts of possibility. Dive in deeper at liveamplified.com.
Every hour.
At St. Anthony's, we're not just a hospital.
We're St. Pete's newest emergency center with all private rooms for your comfort.
We are a comprehensive breast center, giving you care and compassion when you need it most.
We're your neighborhood family physician, and we're here to take care of you.
We're a healthcare team striving to make your visit easy and comfortable.
At St. Anthony's, we're your connection to exceptional care.
Last year, Bud Light built a town called Whatever USA and invited anyone who enjoys spontaneous awesomeness to become its citizens.
It's like Christmas, my birthday, Mardi Gras all combined. This is unreal. It's like my best dream.
Are you up for whatever? Good weather, drinking beer is awesome. Where am I? This is amazing.
And all that's standing between you and a chance at is sharing a 15-second audition video. Tell us why you should go using #UpForWhatever and #audition.
Well, the only thing better than beach volleyball on a warm Saturday afternoon, this I've already moved us ahead, is a wonderful soccer game right here at Al Lang Stadium in downtown St. Pete. Of course, it is home of the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Mike Pepper and Lee Godfrey here at the half as DC United trails the Montreal Impact 3-1. And it was a half that, kind of what we expected. We knew that DC United would be going with some of the younger players, but Montreal with a little bit more experience, and they capitalized on that quite a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of those players back into that starting 11 for Montreal after being sick, Dominic Oduro, there you see on the little give and go, and then the great little flick over Wara to get things started. This started on a long play on a cross, some great passing around the area for the Impact to take the lead. And this is the way this developed on the second goal, too. Another long ball to the corner, and just some good passing around the top of the box by the Montreal Impact. Again, another quick pass through, beats the defenders to Oduro. Wara makes a save. Halsey can't quite get to it. Salazar is there to bang it home, but a good save there by Wara. But then Ben Olsen talked about the defensive coverage in the interview with Heather Donnelly there, and Salazar is able to just use his momentum to carry that ball over the line. Oduro here on the unfortunate bounce, just taking on the two defenders at DC United, and just an easy little chip to his right to give him his second goal of the game. Dominic Oduro very used to that. Wara, not much he could do there to come off his line, just trying to make big. But then they get one back. Nagel with the long cross. Simon probably should have been able to stop that one, to slide underneath his legs to Alvaro Saborio, and he's able to notch that one home to get the deficit down to 2 goals for DC United. So overall, an exciting first half of play, lots of goals. And again, I expect maybe to see a little bit more of the same, depending on what sort of changes that Mauro Biello makes to his Impact lineup at the half, or if he does, if he keeps him out to get him up to 60, 75 minutes now, building up to MLS first kick.
And there are a couple of other players, too, for Montreal we will see throughout this. And again, by the time we start looking at next week, they will be a week away. DC United, really the last weekend that doesn't mean anything, even though their net home openers not till the 6th either. They do have these 2 CONCACAF Champions League games Tuesday and the following Tuesdays, so a lot to look forward to on that. But yeah, it's a warm afternoon too, so we'll see how that is. It's probably one of the warmer afternoons we've had in the St. Pete area in the last week or so.
Yeah, it has been, and the pitch has been holding up well. They've been playing a lot of soccer on this, with teams training on it through the week and having the double headers Wednesday and Saturday. It's not used to it, so it's good that the weather has been clear and there hasn't been any rain or anything like that. So they do get the pitch watered and stuff like that before the game, and at halftime like this, it really does help that ball move, gives it some pace, and it makes it for a much faster game.
And who doesn't like sprinklers? That's it. Everyone's out there working around them and in them. Right now, it is a half. Rowdy Suncoast Invitational. Montreal Impact leads DC United 3-1. We'll be back here to Al Lang Stadium, home of the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
It's a 1-iron. And the right side of the green should go left when it hits.
I can't even see that one.
Oh, just a couple more.
Well, how's he getting on?
He's 4 over.
Again, water coming off the bill of his head.
Sweat, isn't it?
You warm enough? I'm warm enough, yeah. Yes.
So when do you think you'll turn professional?
I know I have to keep working hard to keep getting better and better.
On the tee, Tiger Woods. From Northern Ireland, Roy McIlroy.
Good shot there, man.
Can you feel it? That vibe. It's here on America's best beaches. Feel it in unique mashups of amazing, crazy, and wow. So within every moment, you live amplified. St. Pete Clearwater, solar powered and radiating 1,000,000 megawatts of possibility. Dive in deeper at liveamplified.com.
At St. Anthony's, we're not just a hospital.
We're St. Pete's newest emergency center with all private rooms for your comfort.
We are a comprehensive breast center, giving you care and compassion when you need it most.
We're your neighborhood family physician, and we're here to take care of you.
We're a healthcare team striving to make your visit easy and comfortable.
At St. Anthony's, we're your connection to exceptional care.
Last year, Bud Light built a town called Whatever USA and invited anyone who enjoys spontaneous awesomeness to become its citizens.
It's like Christmas, my birthday, Mardi Gras all combined. This is unreal. It's like my best dream.
Are you up for whatever? Good weather, drinking beer is awesome. Where am I? This is amazing.
And all that's standing between you and a chance at is sharing a 15-second audition video. Tell us why you should go using #UpForWhatever and #audition.
Well, welcome back here to St. Petersburg, Florida. I didn't think I had to tell you St. Petersburg when you see that view, even though you see the temperatures for Washington, D.C. and Montreal. Not that D.C.'s cold right now, Lee, but certainly those are some nice temperatures. And even Montreal for
30,
the middle
39,
of February.
So for the Canadian viewers, yeah, just above freezing or zero, probably about 6 or 7 degrees Celsius in Montreal.
Yeah, 76 here means it's about 24 Celsius, so it should work out. And, of course, down on the field, our own Heather Donnelly, who's been working hard and into the half. Heather?
Well, Mike, I'm really glad that it's not just above freezing here. It feels great down here, and I'm sure it feels great for these teams, too. We talked about with Ben Olsen at the half how his team is a much younger roster right now. He's resting his usual starters for that game in Mexico on Tuesday, and you can tell that's why they didn't get off to as strong of a start compared to Montreal. And it's definitely a difference of rosters between these two teams playing out here today. Guys?
Sure. Yeah, thank you, Heather. And yeah, a handful of guys who will be making an impact, no pun intended, for DC United, where as opposed to Montreal's team, these are the guys that we're going to see a lot of. Obviously, Drogba at the start of the year too, and you get Bernier as well. So a few other players that might.
And Piatti as well. That's not in the lineup. Heather, I'm just. Is there much being said by the coaches each half? Are they just kind of sitting back and taking it in and watch what their players do, or is there really much coaching going on at this stage?
There's a little bit of coaching going on. Mauro Biello has definitely just been in his seat on the bench, kind of sitting back and watching. But during this game in particular, Ben Olsen has been up, coaching up his team a little bit, probably because they are a younger, less veteran group.
Okay. All right, Heather, thank you so much, and we look forward to second half here as Montreal goes. And, of course, we had that. Let's go ahead. We will come back. We do have second half action coming up, as well as our 7 o'clock game, too. So second half action coming up from Al Lang Stadium, the home of the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Can you feel it? That vibe. It's here on America's best beaches. Feel it in unique mashups of amazing, crazy, and wow. So within every moment, you live amplified. St. Pete Clearwater, solar powered and radiating 1,000,000 megawatts of possibility. Dive in deeper at liveamplified.com.
At St. Anthony's, we're not just a hospital.
We're partners in the community, providing a connection to wellness for those in need.
We're St. Pete's newest emergency center with all private rooms for your comfort.
We're Suncoast Medical Clinic with all your physicians under one roof.
We are imaging and same-day surgery minutes from your home.
At St. Anthony's, we're your connection to exceptional care.
And welcome back here to St. Petersburg, Florida. Looks like the Dolly Museum just around the corner right now. Heather Donnelly is with the Montreal head coach. Heather?
Coach Michael Salazar has had a really impressive performance so far in this Suncoast Invitational. What stands out to you about the way he's played?
Yeah, I think he's done really well. He's shown his physicalities out there. He's been able to take initiative when he's got the ball and take players on 1v1, and that's what we asked of him. And he's been very clean in possession, so up until now we're very happy.
You're up 3-1 after the first half. What did you like about the way your team played?
Well, I think today was important that we move the ball and be good in possession and pose ourselves in their half. And we were able to create openings through our passing. We've been able to move them and find those openings to get them behind.
Thanks, Coach. Mike and Lee?
Thank you, Heather. And yeah, I mean, you can hear that as we see. We'll try and look and see who may be or who may not be making their way off of the pitch here. Looks like a lot of the similar numbers into the DC United huddle. So that should be interesting to see as another look there at the Montreal bench.
Well, we threw our Twitter addresses up there, Mike, and certainly players tweeting about this game tonight. And one of the diehard Rowdies fans, Robert Taylor, asking the two of us, how can the Rowdies stop Oduro? He is scary, and he certainly is. But depending on the matchup there next weekend, when they do play each other, if it is, Tam Kandawiri, I don't know if he will play, but certainly Stefan Tanejevic is back and healthy. They're going to have to keep their eyes open for him and just really be aware of his pace. He is very fast.
I mean, when talking with Stuart Campbell here in the week, the one thing he noticed, and particularly with the Montreal NYCFC game on Wednesday night, he just said the speed of that game. I mean, obviously as the Rowdies, I mean, they're professionals and they can go out and make breaks work, but it's just the consistent knowing where everything is, and that's kind of a little bit to where the level is. Now, remember also the MLS teams have been in camp a couple of weeks longer than have the NASL teams and the Rowdies. So that's another eye to keep on, because the Rowdies still have a month to go before the season starts, as opposed to Montreal and DC United, which is March 6th, or the weekend of March 6th. Teams will switch sides. I see pretty much all the same numbers on the white shirted backs of the Impact. A lot similar ones on DC United as well. Second half action underway, and we will have a ball change. You notice this here, Lee. The CONCACAF Champions League ball will be in play, where they use the MLS ball in the first half. They'll switch it up. Hacked down. Very physical play by Martin. DC United.
So we'll see 3 different balls being used in this tournament at the Suncoast Invitational. Of course, NASL this year using X-Armor balls, MLS, Adidas ball that was used in that first half, and CONCACAF uses, you can see there with the orange and white, is I believe, a Nike ball for CONCACAF Champions League games.
Yeah, Under Armour into the world of ball making now. I mean, it's something as a relatively newcomer into the apparel world, but new with the official ball of the NASL is the Under Armour ball. Looking towards the corner. Is he offsides? He is. That is the CONCACAF Champions League ball, and 3 different makers, as the CONCACAF Champions League ball is Nike. And that's what we have there. Looks like DC United may have made a sub. Yes, Lee?
Looks like Kolokostranis, Constantine.
Yeah.
Number 42 is in on the back. I appeared to see him in there. There's no name on the back of his jersey, so that looks like one DC United change that I did see out there right now.
Maybe here on the near side, there he is. Kolokostranis, Constantine Kolokostranis, and looks like he's in for Aguilar. I know Aguilar is still there. I'll continue to guess him. Maybe we'll say Clovis. Maybe that's who it's for. We'll continue to guess until we're right. Actually, it is Clovis. And a big opportunity now for DC United as they take it away. Martin knows pass. Goes back, and now Montreal will look. Kolokostranis uses his keeper. Looks like maybe they changed goalkeepers as well. Did DC United.
Andrew Dykstra in goal now for the second half here.
Dykstra we saw in the first half last week. Back to Evan Bush. Bush will send it high. Had to roll past Boucher, though, because he was off sides as that ball headed back towards him, and now Evan Bush has it.
Well, from Evan Bush's perspective, he probably would like to see a little bit more work right now. He did have to make one pretty good save in the first half, and then, of course, couldn't do much on that ball across the face of the goal that Sabri was able to put in. But he would want to get some more touches in game scenarios and not just in training sessions. So it'll be interesting to see if he does get that opportunity as Mauro Biello keeps him in goal, at least to start this second half of play.
There's a Yongo.
Number 41 has come into the game as well, it looks like, for DC United, Andrea Mancini.
Looks like that may be for Sabarillo. And then they'll move Nagel up front. So Mancini in for Sabarillo. Montreal leading 3-1, all first half goals. Took a 3-0 lead against DC United before United was able to answer. Jeffrey also entered the game for DC United. Trying to check maybe Michu perhaps, and they've kind of rotated the back. Tackle by Simon.
DC United looking for the long ball conversion there, something that the Montreal Impact were pretty successful with on the long switches and creating goal scoring opportunities. And that time, though, Simon reading that one well and able to clear it into touch. Well, we will see.
So Paul Torres in too for Michu.
We will see Allang Stadium slowly fill up tonight in anticipation of the Rowdies playing the Philadelphia Union. A lot of gold and green hoops in the stadium. Ralph's Mob slowly showing up here.
Looks like it'll be a throw in the corner. Montreal, but it's all the way in. Looks like DC United will pinch in. As you mentioned, Jeffrey, and it looks like maybe he'd come in for Martin here as the first few minutes of this second half started. as Ralph's mob begins to fill in. For our 7 p.m. kick.
Well, just a talking to there, a little less chippy than the first half. We saw DC play in Philadelphia, where there was numerous yellow cards giving out in the first half of play, as Salazar, the late foul there. Paul Torres taking him out there.
I think we finally officially got it. Looks like Halstey's out, Jeffrey's in. So making their way out in the half, Halstey, Wara, Mishu, Clovis, and Sabarillo. Mancini, Golakatronis, Torres, Jeffrey, and Dykstra in. Throw for DC United. This one goes back to Evan Bush. The light pressure forces him to pick it up as a Nagel will come in. 10 minutes gone in the second half, 55 total. It's still 3-1. Montreal leads DC United.
And it does appear that Mauro Biello is fine with keeping many of his starters in for quite some time now. Only one player warming up behind the Montreal goal, and that's number 51, Maxime Tissot, the homegrown player.
Magic words there, Lee, as 5 others now go down to join him, but now Oyongo will look on the left-footed cross, headed away by Academy. Wide as Salazar has it poked off of him. But you're right, Tissot was the only one, but as we say that, 6 guys grabbing bibs now to join Tissot. And DC United in the other corner, getting a few guys loose as well.
Yeah, you saw Chris Rolfe down there, the leading goal scorer of last year, 10 goals on the season.
Simon just stood up as Aguilar pushed it too far in front. He'll throw it in.
Yeah, solid defending there and a bit of a mistake as they had a little bit of pace moving, and players from DC United trying to get into some open spaces in the box, but easily cleared by Simon.
Did Oduro hold his run? No. Offsides. Tried to run parallel for a minute, but by the time the ball was played, apparently is a step or two the other side of him. Through ball. Bush off his line.
Not a bad idea from DC United. They've really had trouble, obviously, because of the resting of players through the midfield area. And so why not just try a long ball as that goes offside? The long ball and through passes now and again, just to try to generate something. See if you can force Montreal to make a mistake. Although ideally you'd like to move the ball up with purpose and passing and possession and
DC United.
Certainly has settled down, hasn't it, Mike, since the first half, where Montreal did come out strong and hard and knock those 2 first goals in quite easily. And this time, you never know what Amaro Biello has told his team at the half. There's certain aspects of the game with this opportunity to work on. And hey, we're up 3-1. Let's work on this specific area, whether it's defending in the midfield, whether it is moving the ball through the midfield, and not necessarily just trying to knock in more goals. I don't think you can really accomplish much if that's all you're trying to do is, hey, let's go beat this team 6-1. You know, if you're doing that, then you're missing other parts of your game. That this is the perfect opportunity to work on those.
And this time they're playing it out of the back too. A little collision between Harry's ship and Alexander.
Montreal, they've been in the same position before that DC United is in tonight, as Montreal has had plenty of success as well in the CONCACAF Champions League. They've had to open up the Big O, the Olympic Stadium, for those matches just because of the sheer attendance levels. Saputo Stadium, you know, cold at times for the quarterfinal games, but they would have played those games in the Olympic Stadium regardless, knowing that they can get upwards of 50,000 out to watch those games in just an electric atmosphere.
Handball called, as you can watch it bounce up here, hit the arm.
Good work there by Alexander to fight off 2 members of DC United and find open member of his spot. Now is Harry Ship. Nice through ball.
Tied up in the feet of Oduro, but it's a good view. He just tried to go in. Had help outside, but he went towards the net and just got the bottom of a cleat by Oduro. Free kick here for the Impact as Donadell taken down. Backside, Oyongo now in. Ball bounces over. He's going to have to slow it down. He's got some help. Venegas is going to go and get a corner kick as he went towards net, deflected over the line. And right there may have been, obviously, not that angle for the sun, but maybe a little bit of a glare on it. You saw Academy holding his hand up towards the sun.
DC.
DC for short. Not to be confused with CD. Towards the near post, it's headed away. There's United. Able to get to that first ball. Donadell.
Quite enough on that cross there, the switch of play. Just a little bit under hit. Oyongo wasn't going to get to that one. With the right idea. I like the way that Montreal does use that switch a lot, going from left to right across the field.
Aguilar not able to keep it in, but well down into the corner, so you'll see teams typically pinch in and maybe try and force a turnover deep in their end. We'll see what DC United does to Montreal here. In this case, Oyongo might just throw it at the line and see if they can flip it on and keep it going that way. Oyongo can test Salazar running all ways for it. Going to go off of Salazar, throw for United.
Looks like the Impact are getting set here, so just after, approaching the 65th minute of play, but they are going to make some changes.
It's like seven or eight guys still warming up for them. Down towards the corner, Aguilar's going to get to it. He's got a couple of guys crouched in the box, but he'll play it short. Off the right foot and over is Boucher. And he took out a young man who wasn't looking.
Hopefully he's okay, because we have that little kids area and they're calling for the medics, so he'll be taken care of right away.
Sitting up, but anytime a young man is hit by a ball. Montreal will play it short, looking for Oduro. Oduro's going to try and flip it on. He does. Onside. Salazar was not onside. So that's where the flag will go up. Looked like perhaps Venegas had held his run, but as Salazar went for it, it was over him. Aguilar. Got help wide. He'll take it, but is he on? No, he's off. Couldn't hold his run. That was Torres. So the offside's call.
And here comes now some of those changes for the Montreal Impact. Harry Shipp is going off.
As is Alexander, your midfielders. Looks like Shipp is still on now. Alexander came off instead.
I think he thought he was going off for a second. He was running in that direction, yeah.
Dominic Oduro will go off.
Kyle Becker coming on.
Also off is Simon. They'll change the captain's armband to Donadell. Oyongo will flip over to the right side. Tissot makes his way on.
Vandril Lefebvre also on in the back.
As Toya came off. Salazar taken down. Caution issued on the play as well. Salazar had the step. And Academy officially in the books.
Oh, this is really the first opportunity kind of in these areas of free kick. We saw Donadell the last game rocket it off the post. We'll see if he'll use the right foot.
He does, but it's outside of the net. Goal kick. Tried to go near post and didn't get enough on it. Malice came on as well. So that one goes off Cabrera. DC United set to make a plethora of substitutions. And we'll probably give you their names as they come into play. I'm not going to stress out over this.
Yeah, exactly. Some of their mainstays are Boswell's coming on, Dillon. Looks like Chris Rolfe is coming on as well. So getting in some minutes of some of their other players. Give them, the last 20 minutes or so before that CONCACAF Champions League match.
And using the Champions League ball too.
I'm here.
Nagel brings it down. Looking on the far post, and it's just going to go towards Bush, who will let it go over the inline. Looking for Nyako. As you said, getting these guys a good 20 minutes there. Not too much, but might bring an interesting dynamic. Some of the guys who have made more of a starting presence for DC United, maybe they can do something the last 20 minutes to get this 2-goal deficit reduced.
Certainly a little bit more of a challenge, much more of a challenge for the Montreal Impact. We're probably going to see quite a bit of a pickup in the pace of this game.
That's Acosta. Didn't know if we'd see him tonight, but he does. So Acosta comes in, as does Nyako. You mentioned Boswell. Also Sarvis. He's in. Let's check in with Heather Donnelly on the sideline. Heather?
Hey, Mike, some good news from down here on the sideline. If anyone was concerned about the young boy who was hit by that ball that was kicked out of bounds earlier, he was getting some medical attention down here, but he is now up and he looks to be okay, which is great news, guys.
That's great news. I mean, do you have the lollipops down on the sideline where you can get the young man?
I wish. I want one too.
That'll work out here as Montreal will get the loose ball. I think Lee's hoarding them all right now, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
See the ball rolling free here. Opportunity now. Montreal. Callum Malice had it, but he slowed it down a little bit too much. And Nyako has it taken off.
Salazar takes him down. Referee doesn't blow the whistle. Keep playing. Becker looking for the 1-2 there and ended up running right into Salazar, but the return ball wasn't coming to him anyways.
DC United has it in the back. Slows it down a little bit. 72nd minute just concluded into the 73rd. Looking for Nyako over his head. Had a roll over the sideline as Acosta needs to come up and take it. That's not Acosta, actually. That's Franklin. That was right. John Franklin. Tissot. Montreal will get the free kick as Venegas is down. I think the young man we saw earlier, but I think we have our own guys here. I think look, as Andy maybe get something here. Ah, Andy took it. Do we have a lollipop for Andy? I think he's okay.
He is okay. Good job. Thumbs up. He's okay.
Protects the camera. He's in the shade. Look at that. He's got to get the sweatshirt, everything.
They do have signs posted around here watch out for flying balls, and I never knew that, you know, balls had wings and could fly, but tonight they certainly are.
Ball played across. There's Acosta. Over the top, offsides. As Montreal's lining up about another 5 or 6 bodies to come on as well. Good look at Nagel, who got the assist on the goal by Sabarillo. Donadell under some pressure, but he's able to find the open man wide, and that's Cabrera, who will turn it over. It's De Leon, who's played quite a bit. He'll be whistled for the foul now.
So about 5 more Montreal Impact players are coming into the game. Including another homegrown player, number 28, Jeremy Gagnon, La Palais.
That'll pretty much mean all 10 field players now have departed for Montreal, so they're getting a look at 21 players as Bush has stayed in net.
Well, that will be interesting to see how Stuart Campbell tonight decides to go in the goaltending department as well. Of course, Matt Pickens a starter, but we'll see if any of the other keepers do get minutes tonight and how he's going to rotate that system.
On ball, headed away. Becker can't get to it. It will deflect off of Becker. It will be a throw in for DC United. Franklin into De Leon. Nice touch. Good work here. Looking for the far post, so I can't get the final pass.
A little too much time there on the ball for DC United on the top of the box. You can find a little bit of space, let it rip, but 2, 3 too many touches, and it gives Montreal just the time to be able to close down and know where to go when they end up turning the ball over and heading back up the pitch. Feel just a slight breeze coming in here now, Mike, and the temperature
chilly.
dropping just a little bit. So for the guys on the pitch, it's going to be perfect conditions for them.
It's nice. I can go down to my car, get my energy drink ready for game number 2 coming up and not come back up looking like I just took a dip in a pool. Long ball, Bush. It's going to be a little bit too far for him, staying on sides, but headed away by Montreal. Gagnon Lapart, who's entered the game. I take that back. I see Oyongo in there still. So that may be the only guy. And then perhaps there's a couple of players that. Yeah, so Montreal with 9 of the subs. Another look at the foul here. There's Porter.
Boswell in on Porter, and then runs into Taylor Kemp, lands hard on that shoulder.
Nyako forces Tissot to run back. He's able to slow it up for a moment. De Leon. Nyako was fouled. Free kick here. Dangerous spot perhaps as Acosta will leave it for Franklin. I'll make that Sarvis. Sarvis comes over.
Nyako is first full season with DC United after playing his entire career with the Chicago Fire to this extent.
Sent towards the back post, headed down, deflected, it's still free. Evan Bush. He got stepped on and now chased down as Boswell would come in. It will go off. It would be a corner kick. He's taking a knee or something. He's holding the back of his head, but didn't seem to be anything dirty there. But that was a dangerous first ball in on the cross. As Bush goes down. You can see the replay here, Lee. Nice header, but off of Oyongo.
Yeah, Oyongo gets it, and then he scraped the cleats over the back, and that's what Bush is hurting a little bit from there.
Yeah, that was actually. We had a pretty good angle on that, and I didn't see that the first time. So off the crossbar, headed down, De Leon. And DC United inches away on a header by Birnbaum that almost cut this 2-goal deficit down in half.
You see the smile on his face there, but that's right off the bar. And then De Leon with the rebound. I couldn't tell if that was Nagel or not with the initial header.
I think it was Birnbaum from the...
coming in off the back.
Yep. And then it was De Leon who was standing 2 yards out, but didn't have any chance of getting power on it. And right into the hands of Bush.
Well, with 10 minutes and stoppage time left to be played here in the second half, certainly that's DC and I would like to get another one on the board. Get some high-paced, quality football in these last 10 before they go off to Mexico for these starters.
Sarvis again off the knee of De Leon. This one would be a goal kick. And that was actually Franklin who had come down and put that ball, whipped it across. Boy, DC United looked really dangerous here in the last few minutes. You know, it's a case here where, again, a lot of the younger players got the start, but you got your starters, a lot of these starters in here, Lee, and it's, you know, the last 20 minutes or last 10 minutes or so has been games kind of changed directions.
Bit of a teeter-totter there where, you know, we've seen most of the action all down at this side of the pitch, the one that right now John Bush is in. It's where we saw all the action in the first half when Montreal had the majority of their starters in, and even minus a couple of key ones for Mauro Biello's side, still controlled most of that first half, and now we'll see most likely the opposite with these guys wanting to get in some quality minutes in the last 10 minutes or so.
Evan Bush is wearing the armband for Montreal, captain's armband after that last round of substitutions.
Go, go, go. Good first second. Well done first.
Go off of Becker. Offsides is Nagel.
Well, De Leon with a couple of opportunities late here in the second half of play. He's entering his 5th season as a member of DC United. The most goals he scored was in his rookie year for the club, 6 in 2012. And in each season after that, he scored 2 goals in each season for a career total of 12. But 10 assists over the last 2 years. Probably like to try to find the back of the net here in St. Petersburg and get that start early. We hope it carries over into the regular season.
Good work by Acosta. Will earn the throw after he hits the ground for his effort. Leon tries for Sarvis. Make a note to myself here. Looks like the 5 and the 7 look a lot alike here until they turn around and you see it like that. But coming at us, it looks a lot alike. So.
Montreal having to do a bit of work there, a little sloppy play there, ends up turning the ball over. Becker now goes inside and a little touch over, and it's across the line with a goal. Romario Williams has made it 4-1 Montreal. Well, I was wondering, Mike, if Kyle Becker was actually just going to let it rip. He loves to be in those positions on set pieces, and he does have a heck of a shot, but instead he decides to just chip it out to his left, and you watch there as Dykstra tries to come out, and he can't get there in time, and that's a tough angle, but the flag goes up, and it does cross the line in the mind of the judge.
Probably the right call, but it was tight. So we need some goal line technology.
Oh, well, Mario Williams, the Jamaican, makes it now 4-1 for the Impact. And some nice build up to that play too, Mike, where it started back with Tissot on a DC United turnover, and they were able to pass it around, make the way up the field.
Well, Bush goes down to his left in the loose ball, covered up by Evan Bush.
And if he wasn't, Patrick Nyako was there to slot it home into the open net at the back post.
Nyako and Chris Rolfe were there. Drops the ball. Clock strikes 87. There's 3 minutes plus any stoppage time. Again, preseason game. I can't imagine to be more than one. Had a lot of subs, but no one really down for any extended time as Cameron has it. He's got help out wide. And a shot just over the post. Eric Verso got a chance. One of their draft picks for Montreal.
Well, young player and still has a lot to learn. At that range, you do want to get it on target. You do want to make the keeper do something, make a save from, 9-10 yards out. Instead, he got a little bit underneath it.
Play it around, and Bush comes out and uses his left foot, holds it until Nagel comes, and will push it out.
Yeah, Rolfe trying to do the old put the ball on one side and run the other, and just didn't have enough time to catch up with it.
Verso is fouled. Verso out of Stanford. Teammates with Player of the Year, now with the Sounders. What? Jordan.
Oh, you're testing me now.
Yeah, me too.
I want to say Morris, but I'm not sure if I'm right on that.
Yeah, probably getting some caps. Yes, for the men's national team. I was testing myself and I failed. So on sides is Nyako. Pulls it back. Bush just has to run, and now it's just headed over the end line. Corner kick.
Yeah, I'm glad I guessed right there.
Oh, you had it. You had it much better than I did.
Hey, see one back post. See one back post.
Belen Goyette
Good spot there, Louis. Well done, huh?
was the defensive
Jeremy.
hero there to put it over the goal line for the corner kick. He's now on the near post. Bush unchallenged, but he punches it, but it is a good punch towards midfield. Dykstra. Headed away, it's gonna roll over the touchline. Montreal leads 4-1 as the 90th minute just completed, and the fourth official will signal to us all 2 extra minutes. 2 extra minutes. Ball played in by Franklin, near post, and it just scoots wide. Nagel almost had the flick on, but he was defended well there by Kyle Fisher. And Nagel's touch will result in a goal kick for the Impact.
And he looked at the side referee asking if there was enough contact there as we take a look at him coming in. Is he being held? Is he being pulled backwards from that ball?
Into the stands and throw in. Rough first touch, and another opportunity for DC United. Nyako back to the far post, just past De Leon. And Nyako, though, was taken down behind the play. And we'll have a free kick in the middle of the park. Looks like about 25 yards out. Doesn't look like it can be more center. Referee allowed play on. Nyako, as we mentioned, was taken down after the ball was turned over by Callum Malice in the midfield.
So this will more than likely be it, Mike. They'll see what happens here, and if DC United's able to get one to close it to a score of 4-2 on this free kick, as we have just under 20 seconds once they get her going here, plus any other time he sees fit to add on, but this would more than likely be it. You see
Sarvis wide. Sarvis tried to go over the wall, and it was well wide. Marcelo.
Well, if it happened to be on target, Bush didn't make one step to his right there.
He didn't have a lot of pace on it, but you're right. You know, I mean, whether Bush knew from that point, you always like to make sure your goalkeeper has it covered first as that second minute ticks off. And so blows the referee's final whistle. Well, Montreal got 3 first half goals, and then they add one in the second half, 4-1. They beat DC United. And of course, as we mentioned, 2 of those 3 goals were by Dominic Oduro. And I think that they were well finished, and we'll see what happens down on the sideline. But it was a good all-around performance, I think. I mean, if you're Mauro Biello, you got to be pretty happy.
Yeah, you do. A good start, and good for a guy like Dominic Oduro, who missed that first game altogether, was feeling under the weather, and to be able to come in and pop in those 2 goals immediately for the Impact.
Looks like Heather Donnelly is down, and I don't know if it's that or the head coach, but we'll check in with Heather on the sideline. Heather?
Hi, Mike. I'm here with DC United head coach Ben Olsen. And, Coach, you made a mass substitution there in the second half. What was your goal for those guys?
That's the group, most of that group we're going to use down in CONCACAF in Mexico. So We obviously couldn't empty their tanks today, but it was important for them to gel a little bit and get that 20 minutes, both from a periodization standpoint and getting the heart rate, but also a rhythm standpoint. And we got what we needed out of today. You know, it's never fun losing 4-1 no matter what. But we got what we needed, and I think we're prepared now to go down to Mexico.
How much did your time here in Florida and this Rowdy Suncoast Invitational help you prepare for that game on Tuesday?
This was great. You know, this is my first time in this area, and I loved it. The people have been absolutely fantastic. The facilities, the training site, the Rowdies, everybody's bent over backwards for us, and it's been a good time had by all.
Thanks, Coach, and good luck in Mexico. Guys?
Thanks, Heather, and Ben Olsen, obviously. United States, all eyes will be on that CONCACAF Champions League and see how they can do. I believe the Galaxy might still be in it as well, so a couple of teams might be happening and doing well. But as it turns out, Montreal, who has not been here as long, but got 3 early goals and ended up with a 4-1 victory here today, Lee. It was fun to watch here for a while.
Fun to watch, exciting, and again, just the teams making more steps to getting ready for the beginning of their seasons, and looking forward to the next ones as your Tampa Bay Rowdies are getting ready to come up next against the Philadelphia Union. So that is why you're seeing the stadium here at Al Lang slowly fill up.
And yeah, well, that will be tonight. We'll check into that real quick after that. But right now, Heather Donnelly is with the guy who scored 2 goals, Dominic Oduro.
Dominic, you scored 2 goals in the first half. What was working so well for you?
We're just keeping the ball right. It was really hot when we started the game, but the whole idea was just keep the ball as much as we can. You know, spaces will open up, and it just happened. There was quite some spaces here and there, so we were able to get some quick goals, which helped us a lot. But it's a preseason game. We're just trying to get our legs going. Today was a good game.
I understand you were a little bit sick at the start of this camp. It seems as though you've bounced back. How are you feeling?
I'm not 100, but I'm feeling okay right now.
Great. Good to hear. Right. Thanks for your time.
Thanks.
Guys.
Thank you, Heather. And yeah, Dominic will be in the 4 o'clock game on Wednesday coming up against Toronto. And then, of course, 1 week from tonight against the Rowdies. But it is eyes in about an hour from now. Philadelphia Union coming here to Al Lang Stadium, which is home of the Tampa Bay Rowdies, and will be taking on the Rowdies, as we mentioned there. And, of course, as you see that right there on Saturday, whatever that was, it would be all right. We got that. We'll see you in a little while. Rowdies and Union coming up next, but the Impact beat DC United 4-1 from Al Lang Stadium, home of the Tampa Bay Rowdies.